If you've ever been steamrolled in a meeting, bitten your tongue while a friend insulted you, or felt powerless against a relentless critic, then you've probably heard the advice, be a Stoic. But here's the dangerous lie behind that advice. Most people think Stoicism means being an unfeeling doormat, someone who just quietly accepts every injustice, insult, and hardship. They believe it means suffering in silence. This view is not just wrong, it's profoundly dangerous, because if you confuse Stoicism with passivity, you're giving away your power. The truth, taught by masters like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, is that Stoicism is a system of radical self-defense. It is not about avoiding conflict, but about winning the only battle that matters, the defense of your character's integrity. A true Stoic defends two things above all else: their rational mind and their virtuous action. In this video, we break down the 5 most powerful, practical ways a Stoic stands up for himself in the chaos of the modern world, not with aggression, but with unbreakable philosophy. Way 1. The boundary wall. The number 1 way a Stoic stands up for himself is by fiercely guarding his mental space, which is the only thing he truly owns. This is the power of the dichotomy of control, a principle central to the teachings of Epictetus. You do not control the opinions others have of you, the insults they throw, or the drama they create. These are external events. Attempting to manage them is a fool's errand and a source of perpetual anxiety. Standing up, in this context, means setting an impermeable mental boundary. When someone tries to push your buttons, criticize your choices, or draw you into their chaos, you stand firm by internally recognizing, this is an external event that belongs to them, not me. The Stoic action. When insulted, the non-Stoic defends his ego aggressively. The Stoic, however, refuses to give the insult power. He stands up by recognizing the insult as merely a thought in the other person's mind, and refusing to accept it as a judgment on his own character. This silence, this refusal to engage, is the ultimate defense. You stand up by staying inside your citadel of control. Now, before I continue, are you subscribed yet? Way 2. Saying no to the inner tyrant. The most frequent and important battle for self-respect is the one fought within. A person cannot stand up to others if they are a slave to themselves. Drawing on the virtue of temperance, the Stoic stands up by refusing to surrender to their own internal weaknesses, procrastination, impulse spending, overindulgence, and the lure of instant gratification. As we noted, the immediate, easy pleasure, the endless scroll, the unnecessary purchase, the extra dessert, is not true satisfaction. It is, as the Stoics understood it, voluntary enslavement. Every time you give in to an impulse that betrays your long-term values, you let your lower self win. You fail to stand up for the rational, virtuous self you know you should be. The Stoic action. To stand up in the face of temptation, the Stoic uses 2 powerful techniques. Delay. They practice the pause. When the urge strikes, they mentally push the action back by 5 or 10 minutes, giving reason time to catch up to the impulse. Voluntary discomfort. They periodically choose the harder path, taking a cold shower, fasting, or waking up early, to train their will. By mastering discomfort, they build the internal muscle required to say no to the inner tyrant, thus standing up for their future integrity. Way 3. Assertive communication. Not aggression when an external event requires defending one's rights or the rights of others. The Stoic uses the virtue of justice as their guide. This is the difference between being assertive and being aggressive. Aggression is driven by anger, a destructive passion that clouds judgment and seeks to punish or demean the other person. Assertiveness, driven by justice and reason, aims to correct a wrong, state a boundary, and communicate an expectation clearly, without emotional malice. A Stoic knows that anger is irrational and harmful to the person experiencing it. When standing up to a bully, a manipulative colleague, or an unfair boss, the Stoic focuses only on the objective facts of the situation and the required remedy. The Stoic action. State the fact, not the feeling. Instead of saying, "You make me so angry when you talk over me," the Stoic says, "You interrupted me 3 times, which prevents me from completing my thought." Focus on the action, not the person. They separate the person's inherent value from their poor behavior. They are not attacking who the person is, but correcting what the person did. End with a rational request. The communication ends not with a threat, but with a calm, clear request for a change in behavior, maintaining their composure throughout the exchange. The Stoic stands up by being the most reasonable person in the room. Way 4. Standing up to the truth. Standing up for yourself is not only about defending against external attacks, but also about courageously facing internal scrutiny. This requires the Stoic virtue of courage. Many people stand up for themselves by immediately rejecting criticism, dismissing negative feedback, or avoiding self-reflection. This is cowardice. The Stoic stands up for the truth, even when that truth is painful and relates to their own flaws. Seneca advised constant self-assessment. To stand up to the truth means having the courage to look at yourself in the mirror every day and ask, did I act justly? Did I live up to my values? Where did I fail? The Stoic action. Embrace the logbook. Use a regular journaling practice to record failures and successes. When criticized, the Stoic doesn't react defensively. He pauses and investigates whether the criticism holds any truth. See feedback as free data. If the feedback is accurate, it is a valuable gift, a blueprint for self-improvement. If it is inaccurate, it is discarded, returning to the boundary wall. The Stoic stands up for himself by choosing painful growth over comfortable self-deception. Way 5. Strategic withdrawal. Finally, the most underrated way a Stoic stands up for himself is through the wisdom of strategic withdrawal. Standing up for yourself does not mean you must fight every battle. Some conflicts are unwinnable, some people are irrational, and some environments are toxic beyond remedy. To stay engaged in a situation that drains your vitality and compromises your peace is not courage, it is a lack of wisdom. The Stoic uses premeditatio malorum, not just to prepare for bad events, but to predict the outcome of engaging in certain conflicts. If the cost of the fight, emotional energy, time, loss of composure, far outweighs any possible reward, the wise choice is to withdraw your attention and energy. The Stoic action, filter and exit. The Stoic realizes that their time and attention are their most finite resources. They stand up for themselves by filtering their commitments ruthlessly, exiting toxic group chats, or physically distancing themselves from draining people. Prioritize inner peace. This is not quitting, it is prioritizing your rational, inner peace, apatheia. The Stoic stands up by acknowledging, this external chaos does not deserve the defense of my attention. The greatest stand is often the one where you walk away, completely unharmed and composed, defending your inner citadel. The path of the Stoic is one of constant, quiet, self-defense. Standing up for yourself is not a single, dramatic moment of confrontation. It is a daily commitment to defend the sanctity of your mind. It means defending your freedom from your own impulses, defending your integrity against external opinions, defending your rights with clarity, defending your character by accepting truth, and defending your peace by choosing your battles wisely. To be a Stoic is to be a warrior, not against the world, but for your own soul. That is the ultimate stand,